Hello everyone, welcome to Brewing Bios. I am Shraddha Hatangadi, your host and also founder of Envisage Content. So, Brewing Bios is a platform, it's a podcast platform where we bring about entrepreneurs, their stories, their journey, and how they actually have reached certain point in their life today after all the hardships and all the success stories which they have today. So, beginning with today's episode, I am actually, inviting Namita Bhave. She is a seasoned menstrual health educator, and she has begun her career from being in a corporate company to then working with NGOs with, from the ground level. And today, she's been associated with various institutions, schools, colleges, and educating the world with menstrual health. So let me welcome Namita Bhave, and over to you, Namita. Thank you so much for being on the show and so graciously coming ahead and being so enthusiastic about it. Over to you.
Hi, Shraddha. I'm very happy and grateful to be a part of this platform. And thank you so much for considering me for this episode.
Great. So, Namita, I remember, when I was telling you that, you with your work, you've been doing such an amazing contribution or giving such amazing contribution to the world. That at that point you said that that what you're doing is not something out of this world, right? And even though you're not doing something out of the world, what you are doing is actually very much necessary, a lot necessary. But I'm sure that after transitioning from a corporate job to coming into this field, so how did you feel that okay, now it's time that I should be like I need to leave my corporate job and be true to my purpose and do what you're doing today?
Yeah, so after my graduation, I started my career in human resource management.
Okay.
And I always had a dream in my mind that I want to achieve a higher position in a corporate company in a human resource department.
Hmm.
And after working with some recruitment agencies in 2013, I got such opportunity where the department was big, the team was huge, and there was a lot of scope for improvement and growth in the career. So I was very happy about it, and everything was going very well.
Hmm.
So one day I read a news in the newspaper about a summer camp. So the summer camp is called Shrama Sanskar Chhauni. So this summer camp is held every year in the month of May from 14th May to 22nd May at Maharogi Seva Samiti Varora, Chandrapur. So this organization was founded by activist Baba Amte. All of us know his work about for leprosy patients and for people with disabilities.
Yes.
So I thought maybe I'll just go, I'll get a change from my routine for at least 10 days and maybe I'll make some new friends there. So I went there, and those 10 days were, full of experiences, meeting new people, understanding different aspects of development field. I
Hmm.
also visited the organization's campus and visited different projects, and I really liked the work. So I came back and my routine started. But back of the mind, I had this thought that maybe I should give a try to explore the development field. And Maharogya Seva Samiti Varora at that time was running one project called Strishu. So the project basically worked on menstrual health and hygiene management for adolescent girls and women.
Okay.
So I first spoke about it to my family, and my family was very supportive. They said, whatever you will do, we will be with you.
Okay.
So then I spoke to the organization and asked if they are willing to hire new people for the project. So
Hmm.
I gave an interview, I got selected, and then I finally decided that I quit my Mumbai job. So I resigned and then I moved to Chandrapur in 2015.
Okay.
And that is how my shift from HR to non-profit organization happened. And I think since then I have been working with different organizations, and it's going very well so far.
That's great. That's wonderful. I've known you personally for a while, and knowing your journey is truly inspiring. Relaxing in a office and then coming out on the field, doing things from the ground level and bringing change towards the society is not at all an easy step. And if you look back even at our history, we have heard stories of people who have tried to bring change and how they have gone through so many hardships, a lot of internal, external battles also. So, have you ever faced some kind of battles or some kind of difficulties probably when you wanted to make this change? I'm sure before even telling your family, you might have had some internal battles also, like judgments, like what will people say or what will your family say, and also how did you like tackle all of that and you actually went towards your true purpose and you actually began to do it?
So I think my family support was a biggest strength throughout this journey.
Okay.
So which I have seen and heard from friends also when they want to choose a different career path.
Mhm.
Uh, Not everyone's family is supportive. So I think there they have that huge struggle. But fortunately, I didn't have that struggle. Uh, but yes, being in the development sector, there are higher chances that you may get paid less compared to a corporate job. So that was a little concern. But I think my overall lifestyle is simple, and I don't have much responsibilities also on my shoulders. So I think having a limited money also didn't bother me much after a certain point.
Mhm.
And yeah, I think so. I didn't have these struggles, but yes, I think when you work with people, you work for people, especially. And when you work with an aim of changing something in the society, you need to develop that empathetic approach where you are putting yourself in others' shoes and understanding their challenges, their concerns.
Correct.
Once you develop that approach, I think working for people, working with people becomes a little easier because you think like them, you understand their challenges, and then you take out the solutions which will really help solve their challenges. So when I was working in Pune with Swachh Pune Seva Sahakari Sanstha, I had one experience, I think, and that experience changed my approach towards the waste pickers or waste collectors that we have around. So Swachh is basically a cooperative of waste pickers working in Pune, and these waste pickers collect segregated household waste from around 12 lakh households every day. So we decided that we will celebrate one of the Women's Day in a different way. So we appealed that those who are interested, the staff,
Mhm.
can join a West Speaker in their area on 8th of March
Okay.
and do West Speakers work for some time. मतलब you go, आप जाके लोगों के घर का कचरा उठाओ for some
Mhm.
time and let the West Speaker rest. Uh, so I also thought I'll go, and I went and I collected a waste of from around 35 to 40 households.
Okay.
And when I did that, I think I understood their problems more. So they keep telling people that please give us a segregated dry and wet waste, but काफी सारे लोग देते नहीं हैं. So I
Mhm.
think the same day I also experienced that couple of households gave me a mixed waste, and I was like कि अभी इसको अलग कैसे करूँ?
Correct.
So I understood that they are facing this every day.
Correct.
So I think as a citizen, I need to be more thoughtful, and
Mhm.
from then I think strictly started giving segregated waste to the waste picker that comes to our house.
Mhm.
I think I also went to an old building, for 3 or 4 story building, which did not have a lift. So I think they climb every day and they come down while collecting. So the bucket becomes very heavy. And I think वो भी struggle थोड़ा सा मुझे समझ में आया. And then I became more empathetic towards them. That at मेरा अभी का जो घर है वहाँ पे the maushi comes every day to pick the waste. So whenever she's around, I see her on the street, I just say hi to her, how are you doing? And she also feels good that array, someone is coming and asking me how I'm doing. So I think वो थोड़ा सा approach change हुआ, and you start looking at everyone with that empathetic lens. So I think वो develop करना बहुत जरूरी है.
Very true. So, like empathy is something I think that is what drives the society. Without that, it's difficult to maintain balance, a healthy balance in the environment that we are. So, since you have worked in such different domains where you were also helping a lot of women, you were also helping rag pickers, and you were also working with Baba Amteji, who was on working for leprosy patients and all. So now, after doing all of this, what made you choose the field of menstrual health, and why did you feel that this is a topic which needs a lot of attention, needs a lot of awareness, and so you decided to, focus on that and kind of go ahead with it and talk about it so like at such a larger scale.
Yeah. So I think the first project where my career shifted from HR to development sector was related to menstrual health. And I used to follow few things at individual level.
Mhm.
Uh, for example, I had started using cloth pads and menstrual cups before, getting to know this field and project.
Okay.
So I had that approach and a little awareness about it. But
Mhm.
when I actually started working on the project, I read a lot and I got to know a lot of things about menstrual health. And I realized when I started interacting with people, with adolescent girls, with teachers, parents, I realized
Mhm.
uh, there is a lack of information, lack of awareness about this subject. Uh, I think our society also has a pretty different approach when it comes to periods, be it an educated family or uneducated family.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Uh, there were a lot of news that had come in the newspaper that one teacher, male teacher, denied girls to do tree plantation during a tree plantation drive in the school because he said कि आप में से अगर किसी को पीरियड्स है और आप प्लांट्स लगाओगे तो वो जल के मर जाएंगे. So the girls were not allowed to do the tree plantation.
Correct.
Then a news was there that some Baba had commented that if a woman or a girl cooks during periods, she will
Mhm.
become a bitch in the next life,
Oh my
next
God.
birth.
Okay.
Yeah. And a recent, I think 1 year ago, this incident happened in Ulhasnagar or Kalyan, where a girl was bleeding and her brother did not know why she was bleeding. He misunderstood it, and the girl was beaten up by brother very badly. Uh, so I think these are the incidences which we come across, and I also see a lot of girls and women following some hazardous practices during the menstruation,
Mhm.
which can cause them infection and some more serious illnesses in the long run. Be it, I think, not changing the pads for 12 hours or taking tablets to prepone or postpone the periods just because they want to attend or, do some religious functions at their home. So I felt that this is a process that is as normal as other processes in the body,
Right.
and we need to talk more about it so that maybe after 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, there will be little change in the mindset of the people. So, yeah, I think that's why I decided, and uh, it is giving me a satisfaction that I am doing this and people come back and give some feedback. So उससे भी अच्छा लगता है कि चलो ठीक है जो कर रहे हैं वो सही कर.
Okay, that's wonderful, yeah, and absolutely, Namita, what you said that menstrual health is such a taboo. Like today, also, in spite of people being in the education field, people who are even in the field of science, also they have a lot of misconceptions and a lot of taboo and stigma attached to when it comes to menstrual health. And even as you said, Ki, because of a lot of religious practices, like women are actually okay with taking a tablet so that they can be a part of a religious function or a ceremony. So I think that is again because of the lack of, I think, what, as you said, lack of awareness about what menstrual cycle is all about. Right. So you are actually doing a wonderful job, even though you might feel that you're not doing something out of this world, but you are making change by even striking a conversation about this thing. So, and I'm sure that you, being in this field for quite some time, you must have come across a lot of taboos and a lot of myths attached to uh, menstrual cycle, menstrual health, even with respect to women's reproductive system and a lot of other things. So, what is that one taboo which you felt was something like something blew your mind, like as if how could people think something like that, and how did you address that particular situation?
The most common taboo is across all the religions and with all
Mm,
the age groups that I have heard is not to worship the god, not to enter in any religious place, not to read any holy books
mm,
when you are on your periods.
okay.
So I think this is the most common that I have
Mm,
heard from adolescent girls, their mothers, and even their grandmothers.
okay.
And apart from this, there are others like you're not supposed to plant the holy tree. Like, for example, tulsi ka ped hai, ya
Correct.
people ka ped hai. You're not supposed to water these plants, otherwise the
Mm,
plant will burn and die. Yeah. Then there are some misconceptions related to eating habits also. You're not supposed to eat onion when you're on your periods. Otherwise, your period blood will stink like onion.
oh my God.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. You're not supposed to touch the pickle jar. The pickle will go bad. Or you're not supposed to be a part of the papad making process, which we usually do in summers. If you are on your periods and if you make papads, it will change the color. It will get turned into
Oh
red.
my God, seriously. Oh God, this is
Yeah,
something. Oh my God, I can't imagine people actually connecting this to food and oh God, okay.
yeah, yeah. Yes. And then some of the households still follow the traditional seclusion that you're supposed to sit aside for 4 days. You're not supposed to touch anything, anyone. Your bed will be separate, your plate, your chai ka cup will be separate. And the family members will cook and give you the food. You have to wash your utensils, clothes separately. And on the fourth day, you can have a head bath and then you can
Mm,
enter in the house and do your routine work.
regular chores.
So these are, yeah, so these are very common misconceptions or taboos that I have heard. Some of the taboos that I heard in different geographical, like in Chandrapur or Nasik, one was if there are four women that are going in the jungle, and if one of the women is having a period, then the wild animal will attack that uh, lady first because he can smell the period
Yeah,
blood that
correct.
is coming out of her body. Another is if you see holy cow when you're on your periods, the cow will not be able to conceive. So if you look in the mirror, the mirror will, get blurred. So something like that. So these are different taboos and misconceptions. So there are many, but these are some common that I have heard in the
Mhm.
sessions. Yeah.
So when you came across these weird kind of taboos and myths about periods and like during the menstrual phase, the bleeding that we go through. So like, so
Yeah.
if has anybody come to you about this situation and how have you like tackled it? Like, have you spoken to the person or have you addressed it? And has that kind of helped that person? Like, has that situation ever come to you? Like,
Uh, so when we discuss about taboos and misconceptions,
mm,
uh, first we try to understand what are the different misconceptions people have in their minds, or they are not following it, but they have heard about it in the surroundings.
mhm,
Then we try to discuss each misconception. For example, अगर बोलते हैं कि आपको मंदिर नहीं जाना है, so क्यों बोलते रहेंगे ऐसा. So we try and give them some justification, और we try and understand कि शायद क्या पिछले जमाने में हुआ रहेगा जिसकी वजह से बोला रहेगा कि मंदिर मत जाओ. So if we see, all our old temples are at are on the mountains or at hilly areas.
Correct,
So
correct.
you're on your periods, you're already having stomach ache, backache, body pain, you are feeling a little weak, एंड फिर उसमें इतने स्टेयर्स चढ़ के ऊपर जाना. सो मे बी शायद वो टाइम पे बोला रहेगा कि
Mhm.
यू नो बेटर टू स्टे एट होम एंड टेक रेस्ट देन गोइंग ऑल द वे टू द माउंटेन और हिल एरिया.
Correct, correct.
And earlier we had joint families, so there was a lot of work and life wasn't easy as it is now.
Mhm.
We didn't have mixers, we didn't have tap water, we didn't have gas. You had to go to the jungle and get the wood चूल्हा जलाने के लिए. So I think वो टाइम पे efforts बहुत ज्यादा थे, काम बहुत ज्यादा था. And since there was a joint family, there were many women. So एक हाथ किसी ने रेस्ट भी किया तो काम नहीं रुकेगा आपका. The work
Correct.
will go on. So maybe because of that. And आज जितने हाइजीन फैसिलिटीज या प्रोडक्ट्स हैं, शायद वो टाइम पे नहीं थे. सो मे बी हाइजीन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू वाज आल्सो देयर. दैट इज व्हाई मे बी द वुमेन वाज टोल्ड टू यू नो stay aside so that none of the other family members get infected because of some unhygienic conditions.
Mhm.
तो शायद ये अप्रोच रहा होगा. एंड जिसकी वजह से बोला रहेगा कि आप थोड़ा साइड में बैठो या ये चीज मत करो वो मत करो. बट आई थिंक इट गॉट filtered with time and उसको बहुत religious approach दिया गया. So we
Correct.
never tell the audience or the participants that ये सही है ये गलत है. We
Mhm.
always tell them कि आपकी श्रद्धा है, it is up to you if you want to go to the temple or not, if you want to worship the god or not, it is up to you. We just try to ask them every time that do you see any science behind this?
Mhm.
Can you look at this from a scientific lens? कि तुलसी को पानी डालोगे तो वो जल जाएगा. So have you tried it? So then women come up and say हाँ हाँ हमने तो किया है और प्लांट जला नहीं. So
Mhm.
they only have these answers. So we don't really answer it. We ask them to think and
Correct.
discuss more.
Introspect
And they
about.
only, yeah, yeah. So we tell them कि बहुत आप अचार और पापड़ मार्केट से लाते हो.
Mhm.
फैक्ट्री में जो औरतें बनाती है अचार या पापड़, who knows they are on their periods or not. और वो पीरियड्स में 5 दिन का छुट्टी तो नहीं ले सकते because they are on daily wage, so their salary will get deducted. तो
Exactly.
वो बनाते हैं, वो मार्केट में आता है और हम मार्केट से खरीद के लाते हैं एंड वी एंजॉय ईटिंग इट. तो अगर उनको पीरियड्स और उन्होंने बनाया तो पापड़ तो खराब होने चाहिए ना टेक्निकली, पर होते नहीं है. सो देन दे आर लाइक अरे हाँ ये तो हमने सोचा नहीं है. सो
Correct.
दैट इज हाउ यू बिल्ड दैट डायलॉग. एंड फिर वो लोग ही खुद से सोच के दे कम टू कंक्लूजन कि हाँ ये शायद सही है ये शायद सही नहीं.
Mhm.
So we never enforce on them कि ये सही है या गलत है. We are like you think and you decide what is right and what is
Correct.
wrong about. Yeah.
So yeah, that is a good approach. Like instead of just telling them कि अरे what you're doing is wrong, because again that's human nature, right? If you tell someone कि आप जो कर रहे हो गलत है, then they take it very defensive way में.
Yes.
I think it's a very good way to make them introspect and understand that be self-aware about what you're doing and then practice certain things. So I think that is a
Exactly.
really very good approach that the way you're tackling this particular thing, because again it's a sensitive issue, because a
Yes.
lot of
Yes.
cultural background is attached to it, so it becomes a sensitive issue. So this is a
Right.
wonderful way to actually address and tackle this. So it's
Yeah.
great coming on. So now, so today what happens is that a lot of young girls, like initially the puberty used to come at 16, 17, 15, right? But now puberty is coming at a quite younger age. It's coming at the age of 10, 11, sometimes even 9 years, right? Uh, so what do you think would be the right age for girls to know about periods? Okay, and here mothers usually play a big role, because obviously as daughters, we would like more be comfortable with our mothers when we want to talk about our bodies, right? And also today, a lot of fathers are getting involved in these conversations, right? So, how can fathers sensitize this issue for their daughters? And what role mothers can play if their daughters are getting puberty at an early stage? So, what would be your take on this particular thing which is going on right
Yeah. It is very unfortunate to see that a 9-year-old or a 10-year-old girl getting her periods.
now?
She's like a kid, and suddenly she's playing, and suddenly something happens to her body, and she's like, "क्या अभी क्या हो गया?" And एकदम like छोटी लड़की से a matured girl is there.
Yeah.
So we start having these sessions with girls from fifth standard onwards.
Okay.
बिकॉज फोर्थ स्टैंडर्ड बहुत छोटी लड़कियां हैं, हम जो बोल रहे हैं वो उनको समझना भी चाहिए, बट फिफ्थ स्टैंडर्ड गर्ल्स आर they can understand little more. Of course, you have to change the language, the way you tell them. The language for 8th standard cannot be a language for 5th standard. So we give them a very small part of the information, but
Mm.
we are preparing them that this will happen to you. Maybe tomorrow, maybe after 2 years, maybe after 3 years, we don't know. But
Mm.
this will surely happen. And if this is going to happen, you should be mentally prepared. You shouldn't feel scared कि मुझे क्या हो रहा है. And if something like this happens, you have to immediately, if you're in school and if you get your first period, you have to immediately go to your teacher and tell her. If you're at home, you have to immediately tell your mother. And we ask them, अगर घर पे माँ नहीं है, कोई भी फीमेल नहीं है, और अगर पापा या भाई है तो आप क्या करोगे? सो दे आर लाइक पता नहीं, मतलब सो वी टेल देम कि आप उनको जाके बताओ.
Mm.
they will understand it. You go and tell them कि मेरे periods है, मुझे pad चाहिए. They will understand. They will go and get it for you. So I think we are trying to tell the girls कि periods आए हैं लेकिन अभी घर पे कोई नहीं है, भाई है, उसको कैसे बोलूं? So you don't have to have that hesitation in your mind. Just go and tell them, and they will help you. So उनको वो confidence भी लेना है कि उनको बोला तो वो तुम्हारी help करेंगे. They will not ignore you. So इसमें हमने बॉयज को भी वी हैव स्टार्टेड इन्वॉल्विंग.
Okay, that's
मदर्स को तो इन्वॉल्व करते ही हैं. वी हैव सेशंस विद गर्ल्स, and then we also have sessions with mothers in the schools, and we also have sessions in the communities with women where we are telling them to start this dialogue with their girls at home, so
mm.
that a girl also has a space where she can openly talk about her questions, and if she's suffering through something, she can talk about it to her mother.
Okay.
But we recently had a session with male parents also
Okay.
in one of the schools, and so my colleague took it,
Mm.
and to her surprise, she was like, they were listening very actively. They were asking the questions, and at the end of the session, they said, कि, दीदी आपने बहुत अच्छी information दी. This information is very much useful to us to help our partners also, but help our daughters also in future. तो आई थिंक बहुत बार हम औरतें ही मर्दों को जानबूझ के थोड़ा सा इससे दूर रखते हैं. बिकॉज इफ आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट सम women issue with another women, and if a male comes, we usually hear this dialogue कि औरतों के बीच की बातें हैं,
हाँ, correct. Yes.
don't come in between. So I think when we conduct these sessions with boys बोलते हैं दीदी हमको अभी तक किसी ने बताया नहीं था ये. So they are like they want to understand, they want to know about it, and they are also willing to help. लेकिन उनको इसके बारे में बताया ही नहीं जाता है. So they are like how we are supposed to. So when we talk about this and we tell कि आपके टीचर्स जब स्कूल आते हैं तो आपको पता चलता है कि वो पीरियड्स पे है कि नहीं. So they are like नहीं. So we are like कि can you develop a little empathetic approach कि शायद आज टीचर के पीरियड्स होंगे तो मैं थोड़ा कम तंग करूँ उनको. Or should I help my mother in daily household chores so that उनका थोड़ा she gets some time for rest और उनका काम हल्का हो जाए. So ये अप्रोच थोड़ा डेवलप करना है, एंड वो होता भी है. बट उसके लिए हमको बॉयज को इंक्लूड करना, मेन को इंक्लूड करना ये कॉन्वर्सेशन में बहुत जरूरी है. एंड I think our generation, men, lot of men I see around, they are already into it. They are helping their partners when the partner is on periods, doing all the household chores, or a daughter is on periods, taking care of her.
Mm.
So they have already started this. So very happy to see, that change in men. And I think as women, it is our responsibility also to talk about it openly. कि मुझे ये तकलीफ हो रही है, and please understand me. So I think वो समझ के लेंगे definitely.
So I think the more women are open talking to it now, I think automatically men also will become a smoother part of the conversation around
Yes.
menstrual health. Because again, it's see, menstrual cycle is a part of a woman's body, right? So if we only are not comfortable to talk about it, how would men be comfortable to talk about it? It's very
Right. Yeah.
exactly. So yeah, what you said is it's important that parents, both parents and even family members should be able to sensitize this issue. Should not make it a hush hush conversation ki like अरे इसको periods hai so let's keep quiet or let's not tell anybody or it
Yeah.
shouldn't be like that. So it's a very good thing what you have spoken about. So that I had a friend like he's a guy so like I remember like ऐसा एक बार हुआ था कि I suddenly got my periods and I didn't have a pad with me. So then I was asking my female friends कि pad hai kya and all of that, and I think they also maybe didn't have it that day or what. And then this friend of mine who I'm talking about, he had a sanitary pad with him in his bag. And then
Wow.
he said, Ki, I have a pad with me, so I'll give it to you. I said, why are you carrying a pad? Like you're a guy. So then he said, Shraddha, I have two sisters, okay, who are elder to me, and they made me do this practice. Ki you should keep a sanitary
Oh,
pad in your bag so that when your female friends, if they ever, uh, go through this, ki unko suddenly periods aa gaya, या फिर वो कहीं पे है with you and they are not able to find something to मतलब or
yeah. Yeah.
functionality कुछ है, so you as a friend should be helping them with this, so you should have at least one sanitary pad with you in your bag. So this was something really, it blew my mind. I was like, this is a very next level approach. I was like, I never expected a guy having a sanitary pad in his bag. So it
Yeah.
was altogether it was so wonderful. So I was like, see, this is how we can make change. We have to just talk about it, and men
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
to help us. It's just that we have just had that preconceived notion about men ki अरे इनको क्या समझेगा हमारे बारे में,
Right.
become
Right.
like
And then we only blame them that तुमको कुछ समझता नहीं
हाँ
है.
exactly. So that was such a wonderful thing, and that is when even I told this to my other male friends. कि see, मतलब this about this friend of mine who actually does this practice and all of that. So they were also like shocked. I was like, wow, yeah, this is so amazing. मतलब, this is actually how you can bring change. So imagine how two sisters in a house could actually, in
Yes.
somewhere inculcate this value in their brother's mind कि ये करना
Yeah.
जरूरी है और ये एक कॉन्वर्जेशन से अभी कितना चेंज आ सकता है सो
Absolutely.
ट्रूली वंडरफुल
I think thank you for giving me this idea. Maybe I'll talk about it in the next session with
yes
boys. How about keeping one sanitary pad in your bag?
yes
Yeah.
absolutely so it was so when you were just talking it entered my mind कि yeah this thing had happened long back. So he was my colleague actually matlab, we were working together so
Hmm.
that time this happened so
Yeah.
so yeah actually so now when it comes to men being a part of this conversation, do you think that when men are in this particular field of menstrual awareness, do you think that they can make a big contribution? Because I think, see, if you compare the population or the workforce, men are compared to women more in workforce, right? So, do you think that if we involve more men in this conversation or in this awareness, the change can be bigger? What do you think about this?
Absolutely. I think menstruation is something that needs to be talked about at all age groups and with all genders,
Hmm.
uh, male, female, and other genders that we have.
Correct.
Because I think every person has a woman in their life.
Hmm.
So जब तक औरतें हैं तब तक this subject is going to be, this thing is going to be there. And I think we give this example many a times to boys also कि आप जब स्कूल में खेल रहे हो एंड आपको कहीं पे जख्म आता लगता है यहाँ पे वगैरह, तो आप बहुत शान से दिखाते हो सबको, अरे देख मुझे लग गया. So yeah, like why you don't want to talk about periods just because it is coming from a vagina? Uh, खून ही है, सिर्फ अलग जगह से आ रहा है, इसके लिए आपको उसके बारे में बात नहीं करते. सो देन बॉयज आर लाइक कि हाँ राइट, दीदी बोल रही है थोड़ा सा सही है करके. So, and they have a lot of questions, but they don't have a space where they can ask these questions.
Correct.
So, when we conduct session with boys, we talk about menstruation, we talk about pad, कैसे लगाना है pad, कहाँ पर मिलता है. So, we tell them कि आपके जिंदगी में already there are women, be it mother, sister, teacher, friends है. Tomorrow you will have a girlfriend, you will have a partner. So, आपको ये सारी चीजें पता होनी चाहिए. So they listen very actively, सब समझ के लेते हैं. And a little off the topic, but boys also go through a lot of physical changes when they are attaining the puberty. But उनके बारे में कोई बात नहीं करता है. So we also talk about it in the session. We talk about nightfall. We talk about hardening of the penis. So थोड़ा सा हंसी मजाक होता है, but they are very much interested to understand about it. And we give them chits and we tell them कि आप अपने questions इसमें लिखो. You don't have to write your names. And they come up with lot of questions related to male bodies, related to female bodies. So after conducting these sessions, every time we realize that you know this needs to be talk about. इसकी जरूरत है ही, and boys के साथ ज्यादा बात करने की जरूरत, because most of the organizations have a focus on adolescent girls and women, जो सही भी है because उनमें वो awareness होना ज्यादा जरूरी है.
Correct.
But if we want to have a holistic development or holistic approach, then you have to include everyone. You can't exclude men and then expect the change. Because when we are working in the communities, we talk about different menstrual products. So in many households today, the husband or father is the person who decides how much money should be spent on buying a menstrual product, or what kind of menstrual product a daughter or a wife should use. uh, this we have heard from women from the community कि मैं इनको पूछ के आपको बताती हूँ कि मुझे क्लॉथ पैड खरीदना है कि नहीं.
Yeah.
So this is a very important thing, that if a male member from the family is going to be the deciding person for the menstrual products, तो उनके साथ ये conversation करना बहुत जरूरी है, and we have to make them understand that आप नहीं decide कर सकते, because the person who is going to use it has to decide, because it's her comfort, it's her health. So she has to think from all the sides, and she has to decide which product she wants to use. So that is why we have started this communication at community level in the schools, in the institutions, where we are talking with boys, we are talking with adolescent boys, elder boys, as well as with parents, fathers. So yes, उनको ये flow में लाना बहुत जरूरी है, and we are seeing that it is happening. So yeah, I think it's a good move.
That's nice to know that like gradually men are also getting involved in this, and slow and steady the change is coming. And of course, it's a grassroots level issue, so it's going to take time. But yeah, patience is the key when it comes to bringing a bigger change. So yeah, absolutely, that's wonderful. So another thing I have seen, Namita, that workplaces पे भी अभी भी there is a lot of stigma about periods. Like women का अभी period leave के ऊपर बहुत ज़्यादा मतलब हो रहा है कि हाँ ये women का तो अच्छा है, periods के नाम पे they can take छुट्टी. So all of these things. So sometimes women are also marginalized at workplaces because of this. So again, I think it's not just necessary to have that awareness in rural areas or jahan pe women are kind of from a lower economical background, but I think also required in corporates and in workplaces, right? Even I think in institutions also, like a lot of research institutes also require this kind of awareness, because even though, like as I told you, like people who are in the field of science also make such snarky comments. Acha, okay. periods है तो leave मिल गया ये मिल गया. So then have you ever come across these situations, or do you feel that not just rural areas but even corporates and workplaces need to have this kind of awareness programs about menstrual health and hygiene?
Yeah. So we do conduct awareness programs in corporate offices,
Mhm.
and where there are male males who are attending this session, and they're actively asking questions
Mhm.
about different products. So yes, I think educational background या आप कहाँ पे काम कर रहे हो, it really doesn't matter. It's all about the mindset that you're grown up with. And मैं उनकी गलती है ऐसे नहीं बोलूंगी, because उन्होंने जो आजू बाजू में देखा है वो देखते वो बड़े हुए हैं. But
Mhm.
when you're growing up, you have your own opinions. You talk about different topics, you read more about it, and you need to change it over the time. आप उसको लेके बैठ नहीं सकते.
Correct.
एंड स्पेशली ऐसी चीजों को लेके जिस पर आपको कोई भी टैबू या मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग्स दिमाग में रखने की जरूरत नहीं है.
नहीं है, हाँ.
तो अनफॉर्चुनेटली द सिचुएशन इज देयर दैट कितने भी एजुकेटेड हो, कितने भी बड़ी कंपनी में बड़ी पोस्ट पे काम कर रहे हो, the approach is still not right. But I think that is what we are trying to do, having more and more awareness sessions, talking more and more about it with a normal tone. Because when I am facilitating a session with boys in schools or with parents in a corporate office, if I only have that hesitating or shy expressions on my face, अगर मैं खुद से कंफर्टेबल नहीं हूँ वो बात करने में, सो आई विल नॉट बी एबल टू कन्विंस द अदर पर्सन.
Correct.
But when we talk, especially with adolescent boys, because today's boys have lot of information access because of the mobile phones and internet. I think more than what information we have, they know more about it.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, the sources are not
Reliable.
valid sources, yeah, reliable sources. So they hear, watch something half and they believe it.
Correct.
But yeah, so उनके साथ discussion करते time, you have, as a facilitator, I have to be very normal with zero expressions. मैं जनरल बात कर रही हूँ वैसे मुझे उनसे बात करनी पड़ती है. And
Mhm.
even if there are some comments passing or someone saying something, I have to be very calm and keep talking about the subject so normally that एक point पे उनको लगता है कि अरे दीदी तो कुछ हेजिटेट नहीं कर रही है, शी इज तो एकदम नॉर्मली टॉकिंग. तो इसका मतलब हम भी नॉर्मली बात कर सकते हैं, हम भी ओपनली क्वेश्चंस पूछ सकते हैं. सो आई
Correct.
थिंक एज अ फैसिलिटेटर, फर्स्ट मुझे मेरे दिमाग से सारे प्री नोशन मिसकंसेप्शंस निकालने हैं बाहर. आई हैव टू एक्सेप्ट दैट साइंटिफिक अप्रोच फर्स्ट, एंड वो मुझे मेरे लाइफ में भी प्रैक्टिकली लाना है. कि अगर मैं लोगों को बाहर बोल रही हूँ कि आप मेडिसिन मत लो, लेकिन मैं मेरे घर पे अगर गणपति है और मैं मेडिसिन लेके मेरे पीरियड्स पोस्टपोन करा रही हूँ, so
Mhm.
that is not a right thing to do. So when I think you are clear in your mind, आप वो बहुत अच्छे तरीके से डिलीवर कर सकते हो. एंड आई हैव सीन दैट मेल पार्टिसिपेंट्स काफी अच्छे तरीके से सुनते हैं, सोचते हैं. हमें लगता है कि नहीं करते हैं, बट दे डू इट. ओनली थिंग इज वो डायलॉग, एंड एज यू राइटली सेड कि औरतों को वो डायलॉग खुद में ही इतना
इनिशिएट
ओपनली
करना.
करना चाहिए, या सो दैट द मेल also can be a part of it, and start looking at the subject in a different way.
तो लाइक इट्स बेसिकली लाइक बीट एनी टॉपिक. अभी जैसे फाइनेंस की बात आती है ना, तभी मैं ना लाइक कि विमेन डोंट नो अबाउट फाइनेंस,
Yeah,
दैट इज. तो
yeah,
वैसे ही फीमेल्स का भी है कि अरे इनको नहीं समझेगा, जाने दो,
correct.
it's be it anything, like if it's anything that is a part of the society, everybody, every gender, every sex should be involved in it, because we it's a part of society. Menstrual health से, menstrual cycle के वजह से पूरा generation बनता है. So
Absolutely.
हम उसमें किसी को exclude नहीं कर सकते. We can't exclude anybody. So I think
Yeah,
what you very well said is that when you initiate a dialogue, without keeping any preconceived notions, there then everybody is open to the conversation and to listen to what actually happens when it
Right.
comes to menstrual cycle. Yeah, so that's really great, Namita. That patience and that kind of empathetic listening, which is very important, an important skill you need to like acquire to get into this kind of a field. So that's wonderful. And as you said, that workplaces, but also you are doing such sessions where a lot of curious conversations are happening. Men want to know more about what happens so that they can be better partners to their wives or their girlfriends, or maybe even help out their sisters, their mothers, whatever. So I think, yeah,
Yeah.
that's really a great thing. And you're bringing a lot of good amount of change with these small conversations, but you're creating big change. So that's really wonderful and great. So, Namita, another important thing which is a problem in our society is today disposal of period products or menstrual products which are there. So, so we have a lot of, like, we have pads, we have menstrual cups, we have tampons, and like a lot of products are available today for functionality for women, because now women are in the workforce, women who are athletes. So again, for them, tampons are very important and stuff like that. But when it comes to disposal also, there's a lot of issue, because I have
Yeah.
seen in my own building, in my own society, that women, they actually throw their pads from the window outside. They don't throw it in the dustbin. So that is a big problem. Like, it's a major hygiene related problem when it comes to menstrual product disposal. So, what are the right practices one should actually be doing when it comes to product disposal of the ones which are being used, obviously, the used period products, and also even the usage? So, basically, I would want you to shed some light on how to use the product, okay,
Yeah.
and also how to dispose it properly so that there is no major health crisis when it comes to all these things.
Right. So, first I will talk about the sanitary pad that I think majority of the women and girls are using.
Yeah.
So, sanitary pad, of course, it's a very convenient product, and you
Mm.
just have to use it and throw it.
Correct.
So, problem is for how long you are using it,
Mm.
and how you are disposing it. So, we see a lot of advertisements in the TV saying that gel lock technology and protection up to 12 hours. But if you ask any gynecologist, they will tell you that you shouldn't be using a sanitary pad for more than 6 hours, 6 to 7 hours in any case, because the sanitary pad is made up of different things. It is made up of wood pulp.
Mm.
जब हम उसको देखते हैं तो हमें लगता है ये कॉटन से बना हुआ है, बट इट इज नॉट मेड अप ऑफ कॉटन. It is made up of wood pulp, it is made up of gel, and it also has a plastic layer which acts as a leak proof layer. If we see the pad, it is whitish. So there is a bleach that is done when it has been made. Then nowadays we see the center part of the pad with color, either with blue or green. So again, the color is mixed. If you open a new pad, it has a nice fragrance. So
Yes.
again, the fragrance is added in that. So the pad is already having so many chemicals, and when you're using it for more than 6 hours, 7 hours, it is very close to your vaginal area, which is very sensitive. And the area is closed, so there is no much ventilation also. So when the period blood is also getting mixed with all these chemicals, and in summers the sweat is also getting mixed.
Mm.
So ये सारा एक तो mix हो रहा है, and if you're having that pad close to your vaginal area for more than 6 7 hours, 10 घंटे 12 घंटे, so there are higher chances of germs increasing and higher chances of getting yourself infected. तो किसी भी हालत में हमको 6 7 घंटे में उसको change करना है. Especially on fourth and fifth day when there is a spotting, many girls think that पैड तो खराब नहीं हुआ है, so we can change it in the evening or at night. So वो नहीं करना है. But I understand women, girls belonging to lower socioeconomic backgrounds, spending every month 100, 120 rupees, 150 rupees on sanitary pads, and when there are three women at home, mother is there, two daughters are there, and financial condition is not that sound. So ये काफी बार लड़की के दिमाग में आता है कि इतने पैसे खर्च किए हैं तो वो मुझे 12 घंटे में यूज करती हो, so that मुझे उतने पैड्स कम लगेंगे.
Okay.
But then it has
Implication. Yeah.
yeah, impact in the longer run. It may you may fall ill or you may get infections, and जिसका खर्चा बहुत ज्यादा है. So I think we create more awareness about this, that कितने घंटे आपको use करना है, and if you're having heavy flow, you should not wait for 6 hours. You should change it in 2 to 3 hours. So this is about the usage. About the disposal, unfortunately, India there is no proper sanitary waste disposal system. Uh, Pune Municipal Corporation had come up with this red dot law in 2019. So, as per the guidelines, whenever you're throwing a sanitary waste in the bin, now the sanitary waste not only includes the sanitary pad, but it also includes the tampon, it also includes the baby diapers, adult diapers, and even condoms. So when you are throwing it in the dustbin, you have to wrap it in a paper and put a red dot on it, a big red dot on it, so that when a waste picker coming to pick up the waste, he or she understands कि ये पेपर में sanitary waste wrap किया हुआ है, and I am not supposed to open it and see उसके अंदर क्या है. This is for the better segregation. Uh, Another thing, for the dignity and health of waste pickers. Uh, मुझे किसी का sanitary waste खोल के देखना of course अच्छा नहीं लगेगा. So why waste pickers should go through that? And secondly, if you see waste pickers are not wearing masks and gloves many a times because they have to walk a lot and collect waste from many households. तो उनको बहुत पसीना आता है and they feel suffocated if they are using a mask continuously. And if you try to segregate the waste by wearing gloves, it becomes very difficult for them. It takes a lot of time. So वो gloves भी नहीं पहनते so that they can segregate the waste very fast. So इसकी वजह से if they are getting exposed to the sanitary waste, there are higher chances of health risk to
Yeah.
them. So for their dignity and for their health, Pune Municipal Corporation has come up with this Red Dot campaign. So we at school level, we at institutional level, or at community level, whenever we talk about menstruation, we talk about this Red Dot campaign, and we encourage women to follow this so that waste pickers are safe and उनकी हेल्थ को कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं हो रहा है. So there are a couple of organizations in Pune who are working on sanitary waste recycling.
Mhm.
I'll just specify the name. Maybe those are interested can go online and check more about them.
Yeah, yeah.
Padcare Labs is an organization which is collecting the segregated sanitary waste, recycling it, and making different products out of it, like the plastic bins, plastic planters,
Okay.
paper diaries, calendars.
Mhm.
So this is possible, but that is happening at a very small scale.
Small scale.
And the sanitary waste that is being generated is very huge.
Mm.
So as a country, we need to have a solid disposal system for the sanitary waste. Otherwise, it is lying in the landfill for over 100 years, 200 years, and there is no disposal happening. So this is about the sanitary pad. Same goes to the tampon. So
Mhm.
tampon is something that looks like whiteboard chalk, basically, and it has a thread. So we need to insert that in our vagina. It absorbs the menstrual blood. As you rightly said, athletes or swimmers or any sports person, for them, it is a very convenient product when they are playing or they're having their matches. So again, इसका disposal is also tricky. So uh, सही से डिस्पोज करके उसको इधर उधर ना फेंक के या टॉयलेट में ना फेंक के विंडो में ना फेंक के wrap it in a paper and put it in a dustbin is अभी के टाइम पे बोल सकते हैं कि एक तरीका है डिस्पोज करने का. अनफॉर्चुनेटली वो भी सही नहीं है बिकॉज उसका अगर सही से सेग्रीगेशन नहीं हुआ है, डिस्पोजल सिस्टम नहीं है, तो इट इज गोइंग टू end in the landfill ultimately, or it will be burnt at a very higher temperature, which is again going to cause air pollution. So these are the products that are one-time use, but there are products, a lot of products in the market that are reusable, environment friendly, pocket friendly also, and good for the health also. One of them being a reusable cloth pad. So we all know our mothers or grandmothers used to use cotton cloth, petticoat या किसी पुराना दुपट्टा या साड़ी का square cut करके they used to fold it and use it as a menstrual absorbent. But उसमें दो problems थे. One was the cloth used to be an old one, so it would not last for more than 3-4 months. 3-4 months के बाद वो उनको फेंकना पड़ता था और नया लेना पड़ता था. And it didn't have any leak-proof layer, so they always had this fear of कहीं दाग ना लग जाए ड्रेस पे या साड़ी पे. एंड पुराने जमाने पे या अभी भी देर इज अ शाय एंड हेजिटेशन, सो द वे यू आर वॉशिंग इट एंड ड्राइंग इट ऑल्सो अ बिग प्रॉब्लम. If you are not washing it properly, if the blood stains are not going, and if you are drying it in some corner of the room or behind the bathroom door, so technically it should be dried in the sunlight so that it gets disinfected naturally, and then there are no germs on it. But अगर हम कहीं दरवाजे के पीछे या कहीं पे छुपा के वो उसको ड्राई कर रहे हैं, so it is not disinfected, and then if you are using it again, there are higher chances of infection. So कपड़ा यूज करना गलत नहीं है. It is how long you're using it, how you're washing it, and how you're drying it is very important. So the reusable cloth pads are a modern version of uh, cloth because they are made up of pure new cloth. They can be used for 3 years. You need to use them for 6 hours, wash them in cold water, dry them in sunlight, store it in a safe space, and again use it. So they can be used for 3 years. So there are many materials that are used in it. Some use organic cotton, cotton microfiber. So one can go online and check. There are a lot of brands. इसमें दिक्कत सिर्फ ये होती है कि हमको वो सैनिटरी पैड यूज करके फेंकने की जो आदत है. So यहाँ पे you have to wash it. So I think there is that stigma also in mind कि पीरियड का ब्लड धोना, उसका वो कपड़ा धोना is something वो acceptance नहीं है उसको. And then and who has time, who will keep washing, drying. So बहाने बहुत है, and कभी कभी ये genuine concerns भी हो सकते हैं, no doubt. बट देन अगर हमको थोड़ा सा एनवायरनमेंट के लिए और हमारी हेल्थ के लिए सोचना है, सो वी ऑल्सो नीड टू थिंक ऑफ दीज ऑप्शंस एंड कंसिडर दीज ऑप्शंस इन फ्यूचर. Then there are menstrual cups and there are menstrual discs as well. So menstrual cup and menstrual disc, it is made up of a medical grade silicone. जो बेबी के दूध बॉटल्स होते हैं, जिसका जो निपल होता है, जो मटेरियल से बनाते हैं उसी मटेरियल से ये बनता है. So again, like a tampon, we have to insert the menstrual cup or menstrual disc in our vagina. It does not absorb the blood, but it collects the blood. And then you can remove it again and, empty it, wash it again and insert it. So menstrual cup or menstrual disc can be used for around 10 years. तो आप अगर पूरे लाइफ टाइम में 30 साल के लिए आपके पीरियड्स आने वाले, 30 या 35 साल के लिए, so how much menstrual waste you will be creating is just 4 menstrual cups or 4 menstrual discs अगर आप शुरुआत से यूज कर रहे हो. तो yeah, I think it is high time that we women should explore these options and at least try it out. नहीं होता है, it is fine, but at least try करके देखें. And those who have used it, they are like कि now I will not go back to sanitary pads. Now I will use menstrual cup only because it is super comfortable. You can wear it for 12 hours. You can travel when you're traveling long hours. We know how our public toilets are. We don't have a good place to change the pad or dispose the pad properly. So menstrual cups are, really savior in such situations. Another product is period panty. So it's a panty that comes with a stitched pad inside. So आपको सिर्फ वो पैंटी पहननी है, आपको दूसरा और उसमें कुछ लगाने की जरूरत नहीं है. And it is extremely comfortable, especially at night times for longer hours. You can also wear it for 8 to 10 hours, wash it in cold water, dry it in sunlight. So वो भी आप 3 साल तक यूज कर सकते हैं. So there is a range of products today available in the market, and thankfully we have smartphones in our hand and access to internet. So the product is just a click away. uh, I appeal people they should read more about it. They should talk to people who are using it, understand more about it, and definitely think of giving a try to it, and then come to a conclusion कि ये product शायद मेरे लिए suitable है या नहीं है. But definitely I think इसके बारे में सोचना चाहिए.
Yeah, like basically choosing sustainable options. Because see, again, when it comes to pads, yes, definitely there is convenience towards pads. But when you use cloth pads, I think it's also it doesn't create any itching related problems because the
Yeah,
pad ka sanitary pad ka jo processing hai, a lot of chemical processing goes on in it. Like currently, so there are options of biodegradable sanitary pads also, no
yeah,
doubt, but still again when it comes to waste generation, that again is an issue because people don't want to use that pad just for blood hair for composting because wo again एक
yeah.
problem hai, but again a tag goes
True.
like "Arey, for our plants how will we use this," like no, that's
Yes.
the kind of aversion which most
Yeah.
people have. So I think this cloth pad us way maybe bahut is a better way or a better substitute rather, like as you
Right. And organic pads also, yeah, biodegradable, जो environment friendly disposable pads है, they are little expensive. If you go and buy in a medical, the packet will cost you around 30-40 rupees, which will have 6 or 8 pads. But if you go and buy an organic or biodegradable, environment friendly bamboo से बना है या और कुछ से बना है material से, it will cost you 150 to 200 rupees for a pack of 6 to 8. So again, for me as a person, if money is a concern, I
said.
will not go and buy an organic one. I'll go for a regular
Normal,
disposable
regular.
bag.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah. So I think cost is also something that matters a lot. So we always tell people that देखो market में ये 10 चीजें हैं.
Hmm.
Uh, uh, how much money you want to spend, you are willing to spend, you can spend. How much time you have to maybe wash the product, how
Correct.
much comfortable are you with the product, in what kind of geographical conditions you are staying in. So
Hmm.
ये सारे factors आप consider करके then you decide कि which product is best for me.
Yes.
So at the end it could be a sanitary pad also,
Hmm.
so which is okay. Your convenience, your comfort is extremely important, but then you have to ensure that you are disposing it right
Yes.
way. You are following the guidelines that has been given by your corporation. Unfortunately, uh, इंडिया में अभी तक वो बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रिक्टली हुआ नहीं है, बिकॉज वी डोंट हैव अ डिस्पोजल सिस्टम. अगर सैनिटरी वेस्ट अलग से कलेक्ट भी किया तो उसका करेंगे क्या, इज अ क्वेश्चन. बट आई एम होपिंग इन near future we will have some advanced technologies coming in our country and we will have some solution to it.
Yeah. Hopefully, very soon.
Yeah, yeah,
Great. Uh, so this is what you have actually spoken about right now, Namita. That is very important, I feel, because one thing is कि चलो using is easy or using the product is easy, but again disposal becomes an issue because again if you it's not disposed properly, it can actually create a lot of environmental hazard, a lot of health hazards also. So this is a very important topic which you have chosen. One thing I just want you to add is how to maintain menstrual cups. If you can because since you said
yeah,
it's reusable, so if you can
yeah.
just talk a little about how to maintain it so that it doesn't impact the health of the user or the woman who is using
Right. So, as I said, menstrual cup or a menstrual disc is made up of a medical grade silicone. We have seen that when we are using baby bottles for milk, feeding the baby milk,
it.
we sterilize them first in a
Correct.
boiling water because we want to get rid of all the bacteria from the bottle so that baby is safe. Similarly, if I have got my periods now, first thing that I have to do is I have to sterilize my menstrual cup in a boiling water for 5 to 7 minutes to ensure that all the germs are gone. Secondly, वो ठंडा होने के बाद उसको हाथ लगाने से पहले I have to ensure that my hands are washed with soap so that हाथों में भी germs नहीं है, cup में भी germs नहीं है. My nails are cut because when we are inserting it the cup in vagina, अगर आपके नेल्स बड़े हैं सो देयर आर चांसेस कि वहां पे कुछ जख्म हो सकता है एंड इट बिकम्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट. इट टेक्स टाइम टू हील ऑल्सो. सो ये दो तीन चीजें हमको ध्यान में रखनी है. now the cup can be inserted by different folds. So there are folds that come in because आपको जो fold comfortable है वो शायद मुझे नहीं है. So maybe I have to do trial and error for initial months to come to a conclusion. उसके बाद it can be inserted either by sitting in an Indian toilet position or by maybe raising one leg up and keeping one leg down. So ये अलग अलग positions से उसको insert करना है. Once you are inserting it, it goes inside and it opens up and all the menstrual blood is collected. आप आराम से उसको 12 घंटे तक पहन सकते हो, बट इनिशियल डेज में फॉर फर्स्ट 2-3 months you remove it after 6 hours, you remove it after 8 hours and see how much blood has been collected. शायद इतना कप है और 6 घंटे में इतना ही ब्लड कलेक्ट हुआ है, तो मे बी नेक्स्ट टाइम आई विल कीप इट फॉर कपल ऑफ आवर्स मोर एंड देन रिमूव इट. पर 12 घंटे से ज्यादा उसको किसी भी हालत में हमें रखना नहीं है अंदर, बिकॉज इफ इट गेट्स फिल्ड देर आर चांसेस दैट इट विल लीक. Yeah. So when you are removing it, you have to do the same thing. Wash your hands first with soap and then you remove it. After removing, you don't have to sterilize it again. You can just empty the blood in the toilet. You wash it with regular tap water, remove the excess water from the cup, and again insert it. So this we do for 4 days or 5 days, जितने भी आपके periods हैं. Many girls are not able to insert the cup on fourth or fifth day because I think first 3 days में हमारा vaginal canal भी बहुत wet रहता है because of the menstrual blood coming out. So inserting becomes easier. लेकिन fourth या fifth day पे the bleeding is not that much. It is just spotting. So the vaginal canal becomes dry and maybe inserting becomes difficult. So you can use it for first 3 days and fourth or fifth day ko you can choose an option of using a cloth pad or a disposable pad or a period panty. And on the last day, आपके अभी periods खत्म हुए हैं and you don't want to use cup anymore, you again have to sterilize it in a boiling water. उसको ठंडा होके उसमें से जो excess water है वो निकाल के a pouch comes with cup. So वो pouch में आपको रख के keep it in a safe place. तो आप ये अगर सही से follow करते हैं तो आराम से उसको हम 8 से 10 साल यूज कर सकते हैं. एंड menstrual cup का जो मटेरियल है it's an inert material, so it doesn't react with body or environment. जैसे पैड के धागे निकलते हैं एंड अगर वो धागे वजाइनल कैनाल पे कहीं में जाते हैं so there are chances कि आपको इन्फेक्शन हो, लेकिन menstrual cup के ऐसे कोई भी पार्टिकल्स नहीं निकलते. So it is completely safe. We have to ensure that we are sterilizing it in the beginning, at the end, and our hands are always clean and nails are always cut when we are inserting or removing it. So ये ध्यान अगर हम रखते हैं तो it is very comfortable to use.
Great. That's thank you for talking about this particular process because I think that is again a lot of misconception about menstrual cups also. Ki it's very too much hassle to maintain it and all. But now since you have spoken about it, ki it's about just sterilization and storage also is not an issue. So I think now more and more girls might even shift to menstrual cups. And again, because you said it can be usable for 8 to 10 years, it's again a sustainable option as compared
Yeah.
to.
And we have a menstrual cup starting from rupees 400 to 500, good medical grade silicone cups. तो अगर आप 400-500 एक ही बारी में डाल रहे हो तो आपका 30 साल का शायद या 25 साल का खर्चा आपका ज्यादा से ज्यादा 1500 से 2000 होगा. And if we calculate the amount that we are spending on sanitary pads, it's I think in 15,000 20,000 तक वो जाता है खर्चा. हर महीने का खर्चा हम अगर हम 100 रुपया या 120 रुपीज पकड़ते हैं तो. So this we also do this calculation in the classroom sessions. Okay, if you are using a sanitary pad, how much money you will spend? If you are using a cloth pad, how much money you will spend? If you are using a menstrual cup, how much money you will spend? And then we tell girls, okay, when you are selecting a product, financial aspect भी सोचो, other aspects also you take in consideration and then make a choice. You can also use a combination. First 2 days sanitary pads use के because heavy flow है, but weekend है, मेरे periods है, I'm at home, I have some time, so I will use cloth pads, so I have time to use wash them, dry them properly. So start exploring the combinations also if you don't want to switch completely to another product. So like that we are giving them options, so they are like कि हाँ ये सारी चीजें अलग अलग टाइप से एक्सप्लोर की जा सकती है. So yeah.
That's nice. That's great. And I think everyone should explore what works for them and then maybe use what is good. Because I think my convenience, yeah, I think that is also very important because today women are so much in workforce, so convenience also does matter.
Yeah.
But I think somewhere if we can try shifting towards sustainable ways or sustainable products. So I think
Yeah.
that will also create a lot of change because, as you said, that tons of sanitary pad wastes and period waste is something which is a major problem. So I think addressing that is going to take we don't know how long. So at least from our end,
Right.
at least we can make this change wherein considering that people who are actually picking these waste. So maybe for them also we can think a little and
Yeah. Yeah.
start choosing other alternatives. So, so Namita, you have actually, I think, covered most of it, and I'm really glad that you chose to talk about this without any hesitation and without any कि like अरे मैं ये बोलूंगी तो क्या होगा. So without no judgments, nothing. So I'm really grateful to you for that. And today, one important thing which I felt what you spoke about is that not talking about periods is a problem. The more we keep this in behind a curtain, or the more we put this under the carpet, this entire conversation, the more problems it might create in the society, the more there will be issues between men and women or other genders while they're not understanding each other's bodies or what goes on. So I think that is a beautiful thing that you have addressed, that even men need to be a part of this conversation and even women need to play the role of involving everybody around them in this conversation. So I think that flagship responsibility is what comes in women's hand, I think. So that's a beautiful thing that you have covered and you've spoken about. So one last thing I just want you to cover is before we end the podcast is that what is your suggestion or what is your opinion, like over the period of time you have been in this field, so what changes you have seen and what change you still feel needs to be brought about, and maybe a very small practical thing which can be done and can actually bring a lot of change which you have been trying to work upon but it's not happening. So if you can just talk a little about it, ki like, you have done this conversation, so change has happened, but there's still some things which are a lot of push needs to be given, but it's a very small thing. So what could be that?
Uh, I think specifically to Pune, when we have this red dot campaign and guidelines, uh, it is not a क्या बोलते हैं हम, बहुत बड़ी चीज हमको कुछ करनी नहीं. हम कागज में लपेट रहे हैं, सिर्फ एक लाल रेड डॉट बनाना है. You have marker at home, you have sketch pen at home, you have lipstick at home, you have sindoor at home, so many things we have जिससे हम रेड मार्क कर सकते हैं. पर वो आदत लगाना, I think creating that habit, inculcating that habit is very difficult. For this, the organization with whom I'm working, so our community mobilizers at community level are preparing red dot bags and distributing it at free of cost to the households.
Okay.
Just to initiate that habit among women, कि आपको रेड डॉट बैग्स भी दिए हैं, अभी आपको सिर्फ पैड उसमें डाल के डस्टबिन में डालना है. So, but it takes a lot of time. But we are seeing that at community level, we are seeing that the public toilets, which earlier had lot of sanitary pads lying in the window or behind the door, वो अभी थोड़ा कम हुआ है. So we are seeing that women have started disposing it in the dustbin and not in the toilets, because slums में क्या होता है, women or even overall community is exposed to waste very closely.
Mm-hmm.
Societies, once we drop our waste out, it is not there in front of our eyes, लेकिन बस्ती में वो सामने ही दिखता है. So I think slums में acceptance to sustainable products is more compared to people staying in bungalows, people staying in residential societies, because they people from community know that they are facing it every day. तो मंगलवार पेट जैसे पुणे में कम्युनिटी है जहाँ पे मेंस्ट्रुअल कप्स का एक्सेप्टेंस ज्यादा
अच्छा।
है इन अ स्लम,
हाँ
जो शायद एजुकेटेड नहीं है, जिनके
हाँ
पब्लिक टॉयलेट्स है, जिनको ज्यादा एक्सपोजर नहीं है, बट दे आर यूजिंग इट. सो आई थिंक इट इज अप टू द पीपल. उनको एक बार वो समझ में आ गया कि ये मेरी प्रॉब्लम है और मुझे ये सॉल्यूशन दिखा है जो मेरी प्रॉब्लम शायद सॉल्व कर सकता है, दे विल नॉट थिंक ट्वाइस.
करेक्ट
दे
करेक्ट।
विल एक्सेप्ट इट, दे विल ट्राई इट, एक्सप्लोर इट, एंड अगर वो सही निकला, दे विल टॉक अबाउट इट टू 10 people कि अरे आई स्टार्टेड में यूजिंग मेंस्ट्रुअल कप, मेरा पैसा भी बच गया. And so at organizational level, we are distributing these menstrual cups at a very subsidized rate. ऑनलाइन आपको अगर वो 450 में या 400 में मिल रहा है, वी आर डिस्ट्रीब्यूटिंग एट 200 और 250. सो उनके लिए 200 250 फॉर 10 years इज नथिंग. प्लस सैनिटरी वेस्ट का प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, वो कचरा डालना किधर है इसका प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, पब्लिक टॉयलेट्स में वो दिख नहीं रहा है. सो फॉर देम इट्स अ विन विन सिचुएशन. तो मुझे लगता है कि नथिंग वर्क्स आउट इमीडिएटली. क्विक कुछ होता नहीं है. एक बार सामने वाला कन्विंस हो गया कि मेरी प्रॉब्लम ये चीज से सॉल्व हो सकती है, द पर्सन विल एक्सेप्ट इट एंड स्प्रेड द वर्ड अबाउट इट, एंड द चेंज starts happening. So this we have seen at community level, that women have accepted cloth pads, menstrual cups, and they are the one who will be changing the next generations, because mothers use kar rahe and mothers are also encouraging daughters to use these products. So I think वो घर में ही that change has started happening. So there is no solution that quickly works or it takes time. It is, I think, the person कन्विंस हो जाए एक बार तो फिर टाइम नहीं लगता है ज्यादा. या.
That's great. So, this is a very good anecdote that you have shared today with me, uh, that it's just a matter of conversation, just a matter of making someone understand that what is important, what and how you should be like acquiring it. So, this is a very good suggestion also that you've given. Ki like, matlab, explore everything, but choose what is working well for you. तो दैट इज ऑल्सो आई थिंक अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर बिकॉज वो 5 डेज में जो डिस्कम्फर्ट होता है उसमें भी अगर इफ यू हैव टू थिंक सो मच कि मतलब क्या करे क्या नहीं ये वो सो आई थिंक वाई टू डू दैट इट्स बेटर टू
Absolutely.
choose something which is comfortable for you but at the same time if possible if you can exceed your cost a little bit so then to choose
Yeah.
sustainable ways. So that
Yeah.
is really a wonderful thing, Namita, and thank you so much for making this a wonderful and a smooth conversation. It was, in fact, a fun conversation. It was because menstrual health, just a topic, is like, oh, it's going to involve a lot of science, a lot of biology, too much technicalities. It's the kind of uh, notion when it comes to this topic about periods or period health and all of these things. But you made it very, very easy for people to understand. I'm sure the audience also who will watch, they will also feel ki it is so this topic is so simple. It's we have like made it unnecessarily complex. So it's a
Yeah.
very so you have actually made it very simple for everybody to understand, and I'm sure even teenagers will be able to clearly understand what you are saying. So so this message is basically for everybody who is watching the podcast that talking about periods is very important. The more you avoid it, the more problems it can create in the society, and the more problems, health issues also it can create. So if the more aware we are about periods and period product disposal, the more we'll be focusing on health and hygiene, and it will be better for everybody at a larger scale. So now that you all know whom to contact when you have any inhibitions and issues related to periods, so Namit, I'll be sharing Namita's contact also with you guys, so that if any questions you have regarding menstrual cycle, or if you want to connect with her for sessions also like on menstrual health and awareness, then please do connect with her. I'll be sharing all her details in the captions. So thank you so much, everyone. It's a wrap. And thank you so much, Namita, for being such a gracious guest and being an enthusiastic speaker today. Okay, so let's wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much for listening. This is Shraddha Hatangadi signing off. Thank you.